Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas from Doin the Most.
Homemade brews and various hard-to-use, everything from mead to roast, bake creation, fermentation, inebriation, doing the most.
We're here today in Santa's workshop, my garage, with a special video. You know, I've got a good friend, David. You've seen David on the channel before. Now's the time to look away. Maybe we'll have a little cock-a-doodle-doo when it's okay to look again.
Sure. He's got his head right on him.
Okay. He's got feet too.
Those are probably gonna have to go.
It smells kind of Christmassy. You gonna eat one? That's fun.
Cheers. Skull.
Oh my God. A clone recipe of Natty Light without using any of the traditional ingredients that you would use to make beer.
Perfect. Can't fail.
Okay, bottoms up. Fun fact, David also was our storage location for Mead Stampede entries this year. Yeah, that's right. David held on to all your meads for you and kept them safe, at least the ones that were packaged properly. And so I wanted to surprise David with a little gift. He's got a little shop here in Oklahoma City. My buddy Sean is also part of that business. You may recognize him from the channel.
So as a Bud Light guy, would you consider this to be a decent introduction into the world of mead?
Yeah. Just drink beer and that's about it. This is something I could drink just any time.
And I thought, what better way to bring some holiday cheer than to work with my friends. Yeah, it was a sponsored video. Work with my friends at NewAir to get David a kegerator for his store. What are the holidays without some holiday cheer by way of session mead on tap at your retail location? So check it out. NewAir just launched this line of kegerators. It's like an all-in-one situation. This is the single tap. There's also a double tap. But I don't feel like David and Sean are gonna go through 5 gallons of mead like super quickly, right? I guess this thing is made for commercial kegs, like the ones you get from like a liquor shop, beer store, or maybe a local brewery. We're gonna modify this for homebrew use, which basically involves just a slight modification to the tube system that connects to the keg. So we'll show you that in a bit. And I'm excited to open this thing up and see what it comes with and surprise my friend with it. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, boys.
Hey, what are you doing? Hey, do you have the Jeep today? I got something for the store. It's a little Christmas present. It is larger than a bread box. Yeah, this afternoon? I don't know, like an hour?
Welcome to Santa's workshop. I got you a toy. It's a thank you gift for taking all the Mead Stampede entries, of being unpaid talent on the channel regularly.
Talent?
Unpaid appearances
There
on
we
the
go.
channel.
That's better.
Yeah, so I reached out to some friends and I told them that I felt like your game shop needed a little holiday cheer.
Oh, so it's going to the store.
It's good. Well, that's what I thought. I figured Sean would want to enjoy it too.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no.
I've got a crispy hydromel going into the keg.
Perfect.
Probably tonight. And so, but we need to take this over to the shop and like unbox it because there's going to be some assembly required. I think.
Perfect.
I'm not really sure. I've not opened it obviously yet. Are you hyped?
Yeah, I'm hyped. I mean, it's a kegerator.
It's a kegerator.
I mean, why would I not be hyped?
I think this is going to be fun. Let's load it up. That's one way of doing it.
Just don't drop it.
What are these boots? Nice. Oh no. crispy hydromel. The recipe will be up there in a card, link in the description, etc., etc. But we're here to talk about this Christmas gift.
We are.
So you guys put this together yesterday. Well, today.
This morning, actually. It was supposed to be yesterday, but
You were at the brew shop twice yesterday.
I was.
So some modifications had to be made to this because this is not set up for homebrew kegs, but all it takes is what, like a $5 part,
Yeah.
and a little time to convert it over.
It was not a big deal at all.
use it with a corny keg. So tell me about your experience.
Well, it was pretty good, actually. This thing came in a massive box, which we had to get here. It's
that.
not very heavy, which is good. But once we got out of the box, everything was labeled accurately, correctly. All the parts were there.
A really dense handbook.
Yeah,
with
it's good. I mean, honestly, I've never put one of these together, so I was like going through the notes a little bit or the instructions, and very easy to follow. Basically step by step. No complaints with that at all.
You can hear it humming probably a little bit in the background.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get the negative out of the way, and it's not even really like a big deal. The fan in this one in particular, whenever it's running, is pretty noisy. Once it cools down to temp, the fan turns off, so it's a non-issue. But you might keep that in the back of your head if you're thinking about putting it like in your bar in your house or something. But if it was like in a garage or like a room where you just brew, it's not a big deal. Assembly was a breeze.
Yeah?
To really get it assembled, there were 6 screws to put on this kind of back plate.
Little tray thing.
Tray barrier. 4 screws that go from the top down, which is nice, so you don't have to, get inside of it and look up and mess around with screws. Hooking up the regulator, hooking up some hoses. Had to do a little cutting, like we mentioned, just because of the
it's set up for like a commercial style keg.
Yeah.
And it comes with the full setup for that, which I think is nice.
It is very nice.
Because that's still available.
And the equipment is nice. I have no complaints about like the quality of the equipment at all. You even mentioned the regulators. Pretty legit. Yeah,
no, it came with a really nice regulator. The only issue I had with the regulator that it came with is it's kind of tough to turn.
Yeah.
A lot of times regulators come with like kind of a plastic cap that gives you some grip. But I was telling him, I think the easiest thing to do is to put a pair of vice grips on there, and you can just adjust it however you want.
Well, and it's not like I've got to mess with it every day.
And the regulator, for those of you who don't know anything about kegging, is so you can control the flow of gas to your keg. And so typically you're not changing the setting on that regulator very often anyway. Cost effective wise, this thing came with the fridge, obviously. You didn't have to do any of the labor to cut the holes in it or any of that.
Nothing. It was super straightforward and easy.
Came with the tower, with the tap, came with all the hoses that you needed, came with a CO2 tank, which can be very expensive if you're buying your own CO2 tank. And what they did is they just entered theirs into the swap program at our local homebrew store. So he gave them the tank that NewAir sent us, and they gave him a fresh tank of CO2 and just charged him the refill rate for that, which I think is great.
Like $12 or $15. It wasn't expensive at all.
Easy, and they're like right up the road from there. You've never hooked anything like this up before.
No.
So I rolled up in here this morning with a keg of mead. How difficult was the process to get it all flowing?
Not difficult. Not at all.
I like the digital readout on the front. A lot of times fridges like this, you have like a dial on the inside, and it gives you options of like 1 through 5 for your coldness setting, whatever those.
Yeah.
This one actually gives you Fahrenheit or Celsius right on the front, which I think is cool.
And just for reference, we're at 37 Fahrenheit or 3 Celsius, and there's just up and down buttons here to change it. It's real simple.
Easy peasy.
Real simple.
If you had to give this out of 5 stars, based on just your first 24 hours with the unit, where are you at?
I'm gonna go with like a 4.5. And the only caveat, and that's a lot of that's based on simplicity, and I think it's styled nicely. You could put this in your house, and it's not like a gaudy, like
I like
white,
the black.
Yeah, it's not like
the
a
black.
gaudy white or silver mini fridge with a hole cut on top of it.
Yeah,
like it actually looks like it's supposed to be what it is.
Yeah.
The only other thing is I'm not sure that you can turn off this screen. So it's a pretty bright blue light.
So this is the thing that I will say about NewAir stuff is their lights are very bright, and for I think every single fridge I have reviewed from them, I have used blackout film to, I think it's like 70% opacity blackout film to dim the lights on the front of there.
Which to me here is absolutely a non-issue, but once again, if you're putting this in your house or it's
Yeah.
out in the open or it's close to a TV, that like if it's in like a bar in a theater room or something, I mean, you got to take that into consideration because that would reflect off my TV.
Yeah.
For
So check the link in the description. We'll have blackout film. Link supports the channel. I mean, overall, I think this is really cool. I'm excited to see it set up in here, and I'm mostly excited to have another avenue to regularly dispose of 5 gallons worth of brew at a time
Me too.
by rolling them in over here so y'all can enjoy.
I mean, honestly, I might just have to buy one for my house. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, NewAir. Like, this is really cool. I really do appreciate the thought that went into making this easy.
Yeah, that's one thing I will give them a shout out for, is they have made it kind of dummy proof.
Right.
Which, you know, getting into kegging stuff, specifically getting into kegerator stuff, when you're dealing with gas and hoses and pressure and regulators and trying to make sure that whole system works together, it's kind of intimidating. It was intimidating for me when I first got into it, and still sometimes I'm intimidated and frustrated by it. So I do like that they've made it really user-friendly. And I'm thankful to NewAir for giving me the opportunity to have one of the first reviews of this unit out. I think that's pretty cool on their part. And so shout out to them. Merry Christmas. Happy
Indeed.
Holidays.
Hakuna Matata.
Festiveness and cheer. And shout out to Sean.
He's over there.
He's over there.
Hi guys.
All right.
All right, cheers. Until next time, happy drinking, happy brewing. Cheers.